I feel like everyone is a work in progress. I've gotten to interview some of the top people in different fields. They're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
And then maybe the second theme is anything is possible. Like never have a short vision for what God can do in and through you. Mm-hmm. If you just are disciplined and you keep your eyes on Jesus, anything's possible. So I'd say that's another thing. The third thing is just most people who have great impact or influence have been through some really, really hard things.
Yeah. Personally,
professionally. And I think when you go through something hard, you convince yourself you're the only one. Mm-hmm. But no, everybody's gone through it. And now I'm beginning to see like it's actually not in spite of those hard things. It's a lot of times because of those hard, even really horrible things that God has elevated somebody.
Hey crew, it's Adam and Emily, and we are back on the conversation for episode 300.
Let's go.
We are here for episode 300. 300 episodes.
I can't believe it.
What do you think about that?
It's insane that it's been 300 episodes. This is a fun episode, though.
It is.
Yeah, you brought
good.
the fun, Emily. Like
I
that was my challenge. I was like, we need to make this fun, and you delivered. So it's really a fun episode.
Okay, well, I'm not so sure, but fourth episode 300, we have a giveaway that we're doing. We're giving away $300 for 300 episodes, going to 3 winners. So $100 to 3 different winners.
There it is.
The gift card can be to any place of your choice. You just gotta let us know. We're gonna close the giveaway a week from today. So next Wednesday. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, sometime next Wednesday.
Yeah. It'll be next Wednesday. From the day this episode airs, we will let you know if you won the giveaway. I'll post it on Adam's social media as well, just to let you know.
What do you do to do the gift? What do you
sign up for the giveaway, great question. You need to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just an honest review, how you feel about the conversation, and then subscribe to Adam's YouTube channel, which is just at youtube.com/Adam A. Weber.
That's perfect. And go do these 2 things. Like it is seriously, there's a high chance that you'll win one of these gift cards. Yeah. And so go do that. And I'd be so grateful just even for you doing those 2 actions. That would be a blessing to me.
Yes. This is not possible, guys, without some awesome partners for the conversation. Adam's going to tell us about them a little bit.
Yeah, so our partners are amazing. Our first one is Tommy John Clothing. If you haven't worn Tommy John, you haven't lived. I'm very biased. Tom, who started Tommy John, Tom and Aaron both are dear friends of mine. But I wear Tommy John every single day, and it's incredible. So they have thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews, over 20 million pairs of Tommy John sold. So whether you're looking for undershirts like I'm wearing, underwear, modern polos, PJs, their shorts. I just got their shorts. I love them. Even my kids signed off on them the other day.
Really?
My oldest is like, Dad, those shorts. And I'm like, cool. Tommy John.
Cool dad mode activated.
I was like, bring it on. I'll take it. So if you're looking for some new clothes, which we always are, visit TommyJohn.com. Again, that's TommyJohn.com. Our second partner is Vern Eide Mitsubishi. And Vern Eide is just an amazing, amazing company. They are a faith-based, employee-owned company that strives to deliver dreams and transform lives. And their goal is excellence in everything that they do. I've purchased my last 3 vehicles from Vern Eide. I genuinely will not look anyplace else. Whether it's buying a vehicle from them, they're amazing. The guy I always talk with is Jared. Shout out to you, Jared. Whether you need service or work done on your vehicle, again, amazing, amazing company to work with. So no matter where you live, they'll ship a vehicle to you. And no matter what kind of vehicle you're looking for, from a boat to a tractor, to a snowmobile, to an ATV, automobile, they're going to have it. So go visit verneide.com.
Awesome. Today we just did a little bit of a Q&A style. We flipped the script. We had you guys write in some questions, and I peppered Adam with them, and I think it went great.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was a blast. I was nervous going into it,
I know,
but it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead, sit back and listen to this, guys. So these are questions that your followers on Instagram submitted to you. So these aren't just like from out of the blue. These are people who listen to the podcast. They submitted and they asked you.
Which is really cool. It was fun just seeing them come in. I tried not to look at them because I wanted it to be spur of the moment.
Yeah, he hasn't prepared anything for this, which is
Nothing.
kind of shocking.
Yeah, because I like to prepare every time that I have one of these things in front of me.
Yep.
And so this is,
It's all good.
It's all real and off the cuff.
Yes, we're celebrating 300 episodes, which is a pretty big deal. That's a lot of hours that you've put into the podcast, like 300 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. And when I first started out, I had no desire to start a podcast. It was just a way to, actually a staff person said, hey, you get to have these conversations with people, because we were bringing in a lot of guest speakers at the time of the church.
Yeah.
And they're like, would you record like conversations when we have a guest speaker? And so that's how it started.
Yeah.
And then there were several points throughout the years where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this. And it's been really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm starting to really see the fruit of just 300 episodes. So
I know, it's super cool. Okay, your first question. Across these 300 episodes, what is one theme, phrase, or lesson that God keeps bringing back to you?
Oof, there's several. I feel like everyone is a work in progress. I've gotten to interview some of the top people in different fields. They're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
And then maybe the second theme is anything is possible. Like never have a short vision for what God can do in and through you. Mm-hmm. If you just are disciplined and you keep your eyes on Jesus, anything's possible. So I'd say that's another thing. The third thing is just most people who have great impact or influence have been through some really, really hard things.
Yeah.
Personally, professionally. And I think when you go through something hard, you are convinced yourself you're the only one. Mm-hmm. But no, everybody's gone through it. And now I'm beginning to see like it's actually not in spite of those hard things. It's a lot of times because of those hard, even really horrible things that God has elevated somebody.
Yeah, which kind of is nice too, because you just know you're not alone. Like when you're able to hear things that other people are like going through hardships, fighting their own battles, like, oh, and they were able to come out on the other side. Like there is like light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and the other thing I think about too is if you can resist allowing something to make you bitter and angry, because that will take a person out for the long haul. But if you can push back against that, if you can just process it with Jesus, even the deepest betrayal, God can use it for so many wonderful, beautiful things.
Yeah, love that. Love it. If you could ask God one question and get an immediate answer, what question would you ask him?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I used to have a lot of questions for God. Like, why has my dad gone through his physical pain? Even why did my brother pass away? Like, I think some of those bigger questions I used to have a lot more of. Now it's honestly, it'd probably be every day I just want to ask him, what do you want me to do today?
Yeah.
Like, I can get paralyzed from like, what am I supposed to be doing? Whether it's a project at the church, whether it's my personal life, like what exactly do you want me to do? Like I just wish, because I would just do that.
Yeah. What's my purpose?
Yeah,
Can you just tell
each
me?
day, tell me.
That would make our life so much
Oh,
easier.
because right now my life is so good, and I honestly struggled with fear about screwing it up somehow.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, Lord, you just make it so clear, whether it's helping this random person, this conversation, like, what do I need to do? Like, that's what I'd ask him. What do you want me to do today?
You got a funny question you would ask him?
Funny question.
like,
oh my gosh.
like, did we actually go to the moon? Like, did we actually?
No, jeez. I'd probably ask him, like, why do we have to have, like, bugs and bats and rodents?
What's her purpose?
Yeah, there probably is, like, on the food chain, but I just...
No, there is, yeah. There's a clear answer for that.
Cockroaches and rats and mice and bats. Like, I'm like, can we just get rid of those 4 things? Life will be better.
I would just ask an answer for, like, every conspiracy theory that there's ever been.
Oh, gosh.
Like, can we actually get to the bottom of this?
Can you just tell me? You like murder mysteries, though, so you probably would ask a bunch of questions.
I know.
like
I'd be like,
who did this?
Who done it?
Yeah.
Like, tell me, God. Where do you struggle most in your relationship with Jesus?
Oof. Where do I struggle most in my relationship with Jesus? I'd probably say finding my identity and worth in him. That'd probably be it. Like I battle insecurity, and I've battled insecurity since before I can even remember. And so that's just the thing. Like I wish I could find every ounce of my identity and worth in him. And I just wonder what would change if I was to find that. And I think that's a journey for everybody, but that is definitely a thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm nervous every time I preach, which I think is a good thing in many ways because I haven't like just gotten callous to it.
Yeah, right.
But then it's like, Adam, like, be more concerned about being faithful to the word than what people might think, and that's just being really, really honest. But yeah, I battle insecurity often.
I feel like that's an ongoing for everyone. It's just kind of like a comparison game, like always trying to measure up to like what you think you need to do and not getting there. It's like, we'll never get there. Like you just have to put like your worth in Jesus. Like there's no other person that you need to please other than. I think that, and I think also being satisfied in him. Yeah. Like genuinely, like you are enough, and you are my greatest like possession and prize and treasure. Like I think that would be the other thing. Like I have moments of it throughout every single day where I'm like, oh, I'm just so thankful for you, Jesus. And then 0.3 seconds later, I'm like, but if I could just do this. I know. You know, or I just had this or whatever. You literally wake up like, I love my life. And then 10 minutes later, it's like, I really wish I had blah, blah, blah with this person. I'm like, I was just so thankful for my life 10 minutes ago. I just loved everything about it. And now all of a sudden I need what that girl has over there? Yeah. Like, no. Yeah. Like, I really don't. No, and it's like those things never do deliver, no matter how much I put them on a pedestal. Like, I'm like, Lord, you're the only one who has ever been enough. But those two things come to mind. Love it. Okay, this one's kind of fun. Draft your ultimate fantasy football team. So I have these two. I don't know what this really means. Are you picking Ashton Jontry? Yeah. Or Derrick Henry? Oof. Are those quarterbacks? Running backs. Okay. So first, I suck at fantasy football. I did fantasy football, and I'm such a diehard Cincinnati Bengals fan. I drafted all Bengals, which is like, even if they're like the best team in the NFL, like which they're not currently. Like, that's just not a good approach to fantasy football. So I suck at fantasy football. I would pick Derrick Henry in a heartbeat. I think he just can. I can't believe, specifically as a running back, that he's had his longevity. So you think he's the greatest running back full time? Of all time? I don't know. No. Oh. No, he's really, really good. And I think he's got one, maybe two good seasons left in him, but he was amazing last year and a pain in the butt for the Bengals. So I'd pick Derrick Henry. Okay, so give us your dream football team, like of all time. Like, what are the positions? A running back, quarterback, a receiver. My favorite team would be the current Bengals offense. With Anthony Munoz and TJ Hushmanzada added to it. Oh my gosh, that'd be insanely awesome. Oh, but it literally is. It's like I mean, Joe Burrow is my favorite Bengal of all time. Before that, it was Hushmanzada. It doesn't have to be a Bengal. That's the only. I don't want anybody else. Okay. Yeah, Joe Burrow in my eyes is legitimately the best quarterback. I away from Tom Brady, let's take him out of the equation. I think he's the best quarterback. Okay. Under pressure, which he is every single throw. I mean, he's unbelievable. Defense-wise, I would select a lot of non-Bengals for that. So I would take anybody and everybody because our defense sucks. So who? Oh, jeez. I'm trying to even think who I'd... Travis Kelce, that's the one I know. No, he's offense, and I would not want anything to do with Travis Kelce. Okay. I'd probably pick all former... I'd probably pick all former Bengals. So I'd be like David Fulcher, Reggie Williams. I mean, that's Tim Kremrye. All these people that nobody knows except diehard Bengals fans. I have no idea who one of those... I know who Joe Burrow is, so... Oh, Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty is what they call him. Yeah. Easy on the eyes. He is. He's not a bad one to look at. Can throw the ball like no one's business. Confidence. Okay, so you didn't really answer the question, but you kind of did. I tried. In a position of leadership, how do you not become a hypocrite? Two things that come to mind.
Be quick to share your imperfections. So in your day-to-day life, make sure you're not talking and acting like you got it all figured out.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing, and being quick to share, I'm a work in progress. Not as a cop-out to be a jerk or to make mistakes, but be quick to share like, hey, I don't know the right answer, and I'm doing my best, and I'm trying hard, but gosh, I got a lot of growth areas. I think that is part one. Part two is doing what you tell others to do, which is hard when you preach on a regular basis, specifically as a pastor, because you're encouraging people to live like Jesus when you're not Jesus. And so I think being quick to share your imperfections, and then like, hey, I'm going to do this myself. Something I try to do with preaching is, if at all possible, if I'm challenging like the church to do something on the weekend, I try to live it out before I challenge.
Yeah.
Whether it's, like I did an exercise a couple of weeks ago where I encouraged people to spend time with Jesus and ask, where does my life not look like yours? Well, I did it the week before. Like even any giving campaign we've ever done in the history of Embrace, Becky and I have done it. Whether it's tithing, whether it's if we're doing a building project, we give every single time. So I know when we do a giving campaign, the Webbers are giving. Yeah. And so I think just really living it out. Yeah. That'd be my two things.
Yeah. And after working here for 6 months now? Yeah. You are made to lead, I think. He very much practices what he preaches. I feel like there's nothing that you've ever said to anyone that you haven't done yourself or like do yourself. So I really like working for you. It's been so fun.
Well, Emily, I'll pay you off later. I don't have anything to say back to that. So I am very grateful. That's not always been the case, that people have wanted to work with me and around me. So I am. That's proof. That's proof of God.
You're growing.
That's proof of God growing me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Which is fun.
I think it's so fun that God continues to grow us, and I'm so thankful that it is a journey in all areas, whether it's like as a spouse, as a parent, as a friend, as a human, as a Jesus follower.
Okay, so I kind of have a follow-up question. When you were like in an unhealthy leadership, like when you're a leader and it was unhealthy, like what did that look like?
Boof, I've never been like a yeller or angry. That's not it. I've been angry internally, and when I'm by myself, anger comes out, but it's not been whatever. I think I found my identity in numbers before Jesus. And when you find your identity in anything, the people around you, you start to treat subtly or not so subtly as means to an end, rather as like, no, that's actually like your number one ministry is the people around you, whether you're a pastor or a banker. So I probably treated people like objects, honestly, in really subtle ways. And people pick up on that when it's like, oh, he just wants something from me. He doesn't want something for me. And so that's probably the unhealthy state. And it's been really fun. Even for you, Emily, I'm like, what are your goals? Like, what do you, and I like actively think about like, if there's anything that I can do to help her achieve her goals, like personally, like I want that. Something I try to tell you is like, life is so short. Like I want you to love your job. Yeah, right. And so that would have been not on the radar.
You'd have been like, Emily, can you just give me a glass of water and shut up?
Can you just do that? Because it would have been all about me finding my worth in numbers and stuff. Yeah. So
it's good to recognize that though too. And
it's fun again. Like sometimes I think that anybody feels like, am I growing? Am I changing? And I have moments all the time where I'm like, oh, I would have never said or thought like that. Yeah. Which is really, really cool. And then you catch yourself thinking in old ways. Yep. And you're like, that's disgusting.
I know. Even like catching yourself in a mid-thought, like I'll hear myself thinking something disgusting. And I'm like, okay, no. Like just pause right there. Like let's rewind this. Like time out. That is not how we do things anymore. Like no.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
I know.
And that's growth, though. Yeah. Growth isn't like never having those thoughts. I don't think that's growth. I think that's being human. growth is having those thoughts and like catching yourself of like, no, that's the old me.
Right.
Like, I don't want that. That doesn't lead to good things.
Right.
That's not pleasing to God. That doesn't lead to more joy and peace in my life.
Love it.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of off that, one thing that's been bringing you joy lately.
Ugh.
Or multiple.
These are all like so weird, but they're the real answers. So everything from my dog, Senator. I love that dog.
He does bring you a lot of joy.
So when he jumps up on my chair, which should annoy me because I shouldn't want this large dog. When he jumps up on when I'm outside and he jumps up on the chair beside me and like just puts his head against mine, I'm like, you're my favorite.
This is my happy place.
So I think my dog, just my relationships with my immediate family, both Becky and I, I just love her so much. And even my daughter, I told you, I FaceTimed my dad and my daughter was laying beside me and we just laughed uncontrollably.
Yeah.
So, and even just with my son Wilson, we were playing catch the other day out front and just like, I'm just so proud of him. So I think that I sit out in front of my house like a 90-year-old man all the time. It's pretty easy to tell if I'm home because it's like drive by, there he is.
He's always on his front stoop, just watching the neighborhood.
So I think that, and then I think like also like just the team right now that I get to work with. Like I just love the team. Like I love coming to work and seeing Kylie.
Yeah.
And, Kylie, how are you? I'm like, even last night.
She's always got something witty to say.
Oh, I'm like, Kylie, you're the funniest, coolest person ever. And so just seeing the staff. So.
Yeah. Yep. Many blessings all around. Okay.
Many blessings all around.
What is your go-to worship song when you need to hear truth or encouragement?
Oof. I don't know if I have a go-to worship song right now. I probably say I have a go-to music-wise. So right now I've been listening to a lot of Bethel. So just a lot of Bethel. There's a song called Elohim that I really, really like. Anything by Tiffany Hudson is awesome. There's a group that I've been listening to, Joel Houston. Amen Radio is what it's called. It's just got a totally different, it doesn't sound like Christian music.
Is that the one with like the names that like look like symbols?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just love it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound, it's totally different.
Yeah, and Joel Houston, like I just have a lot of respect for him as a person. And so that's what I've been, probably those things. That truth-wise specifically, probably some of the Bethel songs that like declare God's character and who he is. That probably. Yeah. So
like when you get in your car, do you have like a go-to song like that you turn on, or just like a station, or?
Right now it's probably that Elohim song.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
specific. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's by I can't remember the guy's name. He's one of the Bethel leaders, but that's probably my go-to right now. Corey Miller is with Red Rocks too. I listen to a lot of his songs. They're super solid as far as like the character of God and promises of God. So if I'm struggling, I'll listen to that. If I need to get hopped up, I'll listen to like some elevation worship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I constantly have music going on.
Yeah.
Either music or a podcast or intentional silence. Those are probably the three things that I have.
I feel like I never have silence.
Yeah.
Which is probably bad. I constantly need some sort of stimulation going on, like some sort of noise. I'm like, okay, this is
okay. Well, I feel like that's probably something I've changed. I used to be like that, but I never felt like I had time just to sort out things with the Lord.
Yeah.
And kind of time to like reflect on like what am I feeling?
Yeah.
And like good, bad, and otherwise, like whether it's like being thankful, like really trying to like evaluate like why are you thankful, which I think is like pleasing to God, and then like just some emotional things like why am I so angry about this?
Yeah.
Like
why is this upsetting me?
Yeah, why am I so bothered by this?
Right.
And I think just having that quiet space to like and really inviting God into it.
Yeah, I should try that sometime.
maybe
the quiet.
Maybe when you turn 43.
Yeah, that'll be my time to shut up.
Good. Well, because I probably didn't until like 38, 39, like start to really value.
Really?
Yeah, because I just was like more. Yeah,
because even like when I'm trying to be quiet, it's like, okay, I need to put on like a instrumental thing, like, or something. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, you really do not need something all the time.
Well, I think what helps me is I go on walks, so I'm not just like sitting there in silence.
Yeah, but don't put the AirPods in, Adam, and I gotta have something going in the AirPods.
So on my walks, so I feel like it's kind of I'm moving, so I'm not bored per se, and then I'm able to hear from God that way. So
okay. Well, that's on my bucket list.
There it is. So I will work on that.
Tell us about a time that you were the most angry at God.
Oof. Most angry at God. I'd probably say it's two things. When my dad's health kind of began to take a turn for the worse, it was just really, really hard to see him go from being so physically healthy, and he's such a good man, to struggling to stand or even sit. Like, that was just really, really hard, just because I love my dad so much. And so I was just angry. I'm like, I don't understand why this is. And then even more than that, the year I talk about often is 2018, just feeling really betrayed. And just betrayed is probably the deepest part of it. And I was just so angry. And I just it took years to process that with God.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I was angry at God, though. I was just angry at the world.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I was angry at God. Maybe early on I was angry at God of like, why is this happening? And it felt like 20 to 30 things all needed to happen for it to really go bad. And all 20 to 30 things happened. Like, it's like, if one of these 30 things don't happen,
we'll be okay.
The dominoes won't fall. All 30 dominoes fell. And so I was just like, God, that has to be you. Like, it has to be you allowing this. Whether you caused it, that's not for me. That's above my pay grade. But it has to be you to allow this, because, like, what are the chances? And so I struggled with that. And now, though, I was just thinking about it last night. This is so weird that I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, Lord, I don't know if I'd be in the awesome season that I'm in right now without that time.
Yeah.
So maybe like a parent that disciplines their kid, maybe you actually do know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I've had that thought like years ago still. So it's not just been recent, but like really like, I don't think this would have like this awesome place would have happened without that.
Yeah.
And so
that's what kind of helps you get over the anger, do you think?
Therapy helps it. Continually processing it helps it. Mm-hmm. Even last week I had a moment where I thought about some things from that time and I was angry. Mm-hmm. Like angry would be the right word for it.
Yeah, this was 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I think it's human to feel feelings. So again, I don't think we should. But then, like, what you choose to do with that anger. So I just talked with God about it. I'm like, Lord, I'm still angry about this. It feels like this, you haven't brought justice to this specific situation. And so I was just like, so I need to trust you with that because I'm not in control of that. So just continuing to process it.
Yeah.
Jeez, we're getting honest on this.
Dude, opening up. Enough to all your people. 300 episodes. It's time.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, this one's kind of like an advice one. How would you, as a believer, confront a friend who claims to be a Christian but is walking in a way that doesn't reflect it? And at what point do you lovingly distance yourself?
Oof, great question. First off, do you know and love the person, and do they know that you know and love them? That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I mean, to go and just throw a hand grenade at somebody is probably not the best approach.
That's good advice.
But if you have a relationship with them and you care about them, and I think timing is everything. I think asking for the Holy Spirit's words is everything. Spending time in prayer before, like, should I, Lord, what is the right time? But you will know a good friend if they're willing to say what you don't want to hear. That's a good friend. And this is probably something I'm like, oh, and I long for good friends in my life.
Yeah.
People who know me, love me, and are willing to say the hard thing. And so I think if that's true, if you know and love them and they know that, and pray about timing and words and what to say, make sure you check your heart. Do I have ego in this? Do I have an ulterior motive in this?
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't date this girl because I want to date her myself. Like, it's probably like, okay, like you might want to check yourself there, buddy. So like,
hold on.
Like really check your
Yeah.
motives, because it's easy to think like they're all bad and you're all right, and that's not true. So then I think just as whether it's going on a walk or setting up a time, like, and even maybe saying like, hey, I really want to talk about some hard things.
Yeah.
Or just like, would it be okay if I shared some hard things? Even ask for permission. And then just with humility and gentleness, say the hard thing. Now, what's hard is when you say the hard thing and they don't listen. First off, you're not the Holy Spirit. And so maybe even encouraging them, hey, I'd encourage you to talk with another believer, like, because I could be off on this.
Yeah.
So I just can't shake this feeling. So I'd encourage you to talk with another friend of ours who loves Jesus, or maybe this Christian therapist, like, or whatever. I think you could bring that up if they're like upset, or, just again, like, trust God's timing. But it's, like, I think just to say it like several times, specifically based on your closeness. If they're a family member and you have a great relationship with them, if they're a spouse, if they're a best friend, hey, continually bring that. If it's something really, really unhealthy, let's not talk about marriage, because that gets a lot more complicated. But I think at some point, hey man, I love you. And I know for me, I can't be around this. And so I want the relationship with you. Let's say if there's like an alcohol issue,
Yeah.
I want the relationship with you, but I can't when you're drinking. And so, if you're choosing to drink, and it's not a good thing, like, I want this friendship, but not when you're drinking. And so that really puts the decision on them.
Yeah.
Of like, oof, like, Adam has said that he wants the relationship, and he's followed up with that. Like, he wants to hang.
Yeah.
But if I choose to drink, I know that Adam doesn't want to be around me because he struggles with drinking, or he's, or like it's I'm not a good person when I'm drinking or whatever. So I think that'd be my thoughts.
And I also feel like you have to go into the conversation like knowing that they might say no, like they might choose alcohol over you, and you have to be like okay with that. Like, at that point, it's like, well, I've tried. Want the best for you, obviously, but like, yeah, you can't like just expect them to be like, okay, Emily said this is what I'm gonna do now. No, like, they're a person too. They'll make their own decisions. Like, they'll it's so true. That's really, really true. And you'll have to process that with God, because it might mean even for just a season losing a good friend. Yeah. I think, oh gosh, I would encourage you, if the Holy Spirit continues to prompt you, specifically if you're not a confrontational person. Yeah. If you're a confrontational person, maybe hold on, think about it a little.
Maybe ease up and pray about it. Like, if you're quick to speak your mind about everything, honestly, you might need to have a brother or sister speaking to you and say, like, hey, you're really brash with your words. So I'm talking to everybody wired, like, I don't like conflict. Yeah. And so if I say a hard thing, it is clearly from the Holy Spirit, because I have ran from it.
It's something that's been on like your heart for a while.
Yeah. So if you're a non-confrontational person, please, out of love for your friend, speak up. Yeah. Because I just long for people to speak into my life. Yeah. To keep me from stupidity, right, and to keep me from brokenness. I know. So,
I love
great
friends.
Question.
Friends are so great, though. Like,
and when you have a friend who has spoken into you, or you've spoken into them, it makes it stronger.
It builds trust. Yeah. Like, if they'll say something hard to you, like, it only makes your relationship like that much deeper and less surface level. So. And
then it feels like it gets easier to have really hard conversations. Yeah. And it becomes like, I just think about Travis Walton and Tyler Goff. Like those guys say stuff to me that I don't want to hear all the time. Sometimes I'm like, easy.
You're like, hold on, I didn't ask for this today.
Take it easy. But I love that now. Like I know that I can call them like, hey, what do you think about this? And I know they're gonna be like, that's a bad idea.
They're not just gonna tell you what you want to hear.
No.
Yeah.
So
Which is kind of nice.
I value that so much.
Yeah. I got my sisters for that. I know when I ask them for something, they're gonna give me the harsh, straight, honest truth.
Do you give that back to them?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes. Which is great. Sometimes it could probably be a little more loving, but I know that they will be very, very honest with me.
Your two sisters' first names?
Becca and Jenna.
There you go.
I know.
Shout out to the both of you.
Yep, love you both. You're very honest, and I appreciate it.
Thanks for being so honest, but maybe ease up sometimes. I'm just joking.
Okay, last one I have here is, what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh, favorite part of my job. I would say seeing it click for people. Like what I mean by that is seeing Jesus become real to somebody. Mm-hmm. Specifically someone who's like the last person who ever thought they'd follow Jesus. Like just that moment where like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Or, man, I've never felt this way before. So I would say that, and then seeing a person take a step in their relationship, in their relationship with Jesus, specifically when I know it's out of their comfort zone. So like them sharing their faith with somebody, them inviting somebody,
mm-hmm.
them like giving for the first time, them forgiving someone who's really hurt them, them like stepping out and like pursuing this dream that they've had. Like that just like fires me up. Mm-hmm. And then one other thing too, I love getting a front row seat to people being so rad towards each other.
Yeah.
Whether it's like helping somebody out, giving someone an opportunity, giving to provide for somebody. I just feel like I can see that all the time. So there's so many things I love about my job.
Okay, I got rapid fire questions just to round this out. So
let's go.
You only get a couple words here.
Okay. You're like, I'm going to cut you off. Speaking of being a truth teller.
Rapid fire means quick. Quick to the point. Favorite movie you'll always rewatch?
Oh my gosh. The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Classic.
What book, besides the Bible, has impacted your life the most?
Oof. Two books, Emotional Healthy Spirituality by Pete Scazzaro and All It Takes Is the Goal by John Acuff.
Good. One thing people would be surprised to know about you.
Oh my goodness. I think I share all of it. I love the weirdest things. Like in the last 2 weeks, I've hung out with 4 old men that I don't know in their garages, looking at their old cars.
He just wanders into people's garages.
Literally, the other week I was in Brookings and I saw someone had an old car in their garage. I had to go somewhere and I was so sad because I was planning on walking up to the house and asking them about their car. So
maybe that's something you know. He is a lurker. He will find you.
This is something. I'm confessing to breaking the law here. In high school, I wouldn't ask for permission. I wouldn't go in someone's garage, but if like they had like old cars out in their trees, I would totally go out in their trees and check them out. I wouldn't do anything. I would just look. It was like a car show back on their trees.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
trespassing.
Okay. What's your Enneagram number? Do you believe it?
I am a 3 through and through. And I don't think it's a label. I think it's something that helps you decipher who you are and how you're wired.
Yeah.
So it's not a cop-out. Like,
right.
If as a cop-out for a 3, it'd be like, well, I'm goals and that's just who I am. It's like, no, you don't have permission to be a jerk.
Right.
Yeah.
Favorite guilty pleasure snack?
Oh, I eat it every day. 7 trillion rice cakes with reduced fat Jif peanut butter. I'm not joking. If I could eat anything with 0 calories, it would be that right now. I love it so much.
He eats like 8 a day.
I didn't have it this morning, and I'm like,
I know.
Zach here is chiming in, and he is vetoing my.
That's not guilty pleasure. That's
not a
just
guilty
healthy.
Gosh, it's so good though.
Who's someone you'd love to interview on the podcast but haven't yet?
Oh man. Great question. Let's go crazy. Joe Burrow, interview him. I've had the pleasure of interacting with many NFL athletes, and for some reason, I'm able to look at them as just human beings. Any Cincinnati Bengals, specifically Joe Burrow, I would fangirl like crazy. So I would say him. I'm trying to think of other people that I would say faith-wise, though. I've really gotten a chance to interview everybody that I've really wanted to interview in the faith circles, which is so cool.
That is super cool.
So, yeah, I honestly...
Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow's team.
Honestly, it's people that I've already interviewed that I want to interview again, that I'm trying to interview again. So I'd say Sandy Miller from England, from Europe. I'd love to have him on again. And then John Acuff. I'd interview him any day of the week because of the impact he's had on my life.
Yep. Okay, my last question. If you weren't a pastor, what job would you want?
Oh, two things. I'd want to be in construction world, and I would redo the Cathedral District of Sioux Falls, which I think is the hidden gem. I would make every single house gorgeous, and it would become a part of downtown Sioux Falls. Any builders, will you stop looking at the McKinnon Park area? Because I always joke, McKinnon Park is like starter homes, and so if you go there, but like the Cathedral District is it. So I would renovate it, and Joanna Gaines the whole area. The other thing, though, I would start a business of some kind, whether it's marketing. I just love the look and feel of things, and I love being. Just trying new things. So that's what I would do.
Okay.
That was like really snooty about like the McKinnon Park area. If you live in McKinnon Park.
We love McKinnon Park.
We think you're great. We think you're great.
I love McKinnon Park area, but the Cathedral District is great too.
There it is.
Sioux Falls has got a lot to offer.
It's got a lot to offer.
Lots of different places. Harrisburg's great too.
Harrisburg. We love all people. Well, guys, I want to thank you again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this 300th episode. Thanks to our partners, Tommy John Clothing and Vern Eide Motorcars. So grateful for both of those partners. Genuinely, though, I am endlessly grateful for each of you who listen to the conversation each and every week. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Here's to 300 more.
Let's go.